Thank you so much, Twilight, that you agreed on that. Don't worry, it's not gonna hurt too much. See? I told you it's not gonna hurt. Now, I need to ask Celestia and Luna for the same. Or maybe I should check Cadence and Flurryheart first to keep the consistency of the research? Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. Those are supposed to be the obvious evidences of Starlight Glimmer being an overpowered character, and a fuel for her haters. Me, however, more I've been watching those scenes, more something hit me, that maybe the answer lies somewhere else, all you need is to stop looking at her. Fact remains that she is quite a powerful character, and she can stand equal with the Alicorns. However, what if I tell you that maybe it's not quite Starlight who is so strong, but maybe it's Twilight who may not have as much power as we think, at least not anymore. Why? There are two answers. Easiest and obvious one is the fact that Twilight was lacking practice during season 5, while in previous 4 seasons she had more of it, however she might have less of it during season 4, due to other duties. But there is also another answer that lies in her new status. And it's not just Twilight but all the Alicorns. They might not be so almighty powerful, at least not in a way we think. Yes, they have much more inner magic than any regular pony. In that matter, Alicorns are more powerful. However, we must also remember one thing. Alicorn represents 3 tribes. This is an important factor here. They have a lot more inner magic than the regular pony. However, in case of a regular pony, their inner magic have only one role. Let's make a breakdown. Take an average pony. Although they have it less than an Alicorn, their inner magic in this case have only one aspect to power up. For Earth Pony it's a body, for Pegasus wings, and for the Unicorns it's their horn. That means all the magic have only one role, depending on the pony and its tribe. Now let's look back at the Alicorns. Although they have it more, in this case inner magic is feeding 3 aspects, meaning that it needs to be split between them, and by that Alicorns are losing in terms of power level because yes, they have both increased strength, wings and ability to cast spells, but when you look at those aspects individually, they are not that strong, probably comparable to an average representative matching pony tribe, or a bit above. Reason for that is how the magic works for those aspects. Unicorns use their magic actively in form of spells. For Earth Ponies and Pegasus it works more passively, they are just using it and can't just run out of magic, while the Unicorns can. Hints for that we saw back in season 4 finale. When T-Rex stole the magic from Pegasus, they've lost the ability to fly and cloud walking, and Earth Ponies lost their strength. That's actually a good hint for the Alicorns and how their magic works too. Knowing that Earth Pony and Pegasus magic works passively, we can easily assume that for Alicorns it worked the same way. That also means magic of those aspects is stable and probably not connected with the Unicorn aspect. Pretty much all of those, although the magic is coming from the same source, are not connected with each other, so they can still work in case if an Alicorn runs out of magic. I'm basing that on 2 episodes. In season 4 finale, when the Alicorns gave up their magic to Twilight, they've also lost the ability to fly and their strength, so they could barely move. Another evidence we've got was in season 5 finale, when after the duel with Starlight, Twi could not cast any spells, yet she still got enough strength to run. So that pretty much brings us to the first resolution. Although Alicorns are strong because they can fly and cast spells at the same time, when you look at all those parts individually and compare say Earth Pony strength, I think Alicorns could be compared to an average representative of that tribe, or a bit above the average. Like they say, if you are good at everything, you are the master at nothing. Pretty much that's how I see the Alicorns, as jacks of all trades but masters of none. Not quite very Suish as many of us assume. However, by looking at the other evidences, it is highly possible that the Alicorn magic is not split equally and maybe more of it is diverted to the horn. It can also depend on what tribe the pony came from, yet it's still not enough to make an Alicorn an almighty creature. After all, Starswill the Bearded was a unicorn, not an Alicorn. All of those are bringing me to another resolution. When it comes to magic abilities, Twilight might get a bit weaker after becoming an Alicorn. She still has some strong magic abilities, but that may be due to the fact she was practicing a lot of it in the past and she had so great magic potential before, and because of that, most of her inner magic is diverted to her unicorn aspect. This could explain how come she is not a great flyer, but when powered up by the other alicorns, Twilight was close to do a sonic rainbow. Yet the fact that her inner magic now have to fit not one but 3 aspects can make her a bit weaker by definition. Add the fact that she wasn't practicing enough during season 5 and Starlight being equal to her seems quite possible. However, I'm not gonna tackle the topic of talent versus training because that was already done by Tricky Fox and Aeon of Dreams, and they've done it better than me, so go check their video. But back to the topic. I can hear most of you screaming, but what about Flurry Heart or what about Celestia and yada yada yada. Well, that's another thing we need to discuss here. The difference between artificial and born alicorns. After all, something that was created by the force of nature is much better than something created artificially. And yes, I'm still holding to the headcanon that Celestia and Luna are born alicorns. As we know, spells that manipulate life and creation are very hard and not many can use it, not to mention use it correctly. If the H spell is so high level magic that it's very hard to use, it is highly possible that magic which turned Twilight and Cadence into an alicorn might also not be easy to use, and possibly unstable and not perfect. Another reason why you can't just turn yourself into an alicorn. The result might be that artificially created alicorns are not as powerful as born alicorns. Because of that, and the fact that the extra power can't just came out of nowhere, there have to be some source of that. The obvious one? The pony that is casting the spell have to share some of its inner magic. Yet we also have to distinguish the origin of born alicorn. We've all seen how powerful Luna, Flurry Heart and Celestia can be. However, I think that if those 3 would be at similar age, Flurry would be less powerful than Royal Sisters. The reason for that is the fact that she is born from the couple of a unicorn and artificial alicorn. It's quite like with many genetic mutations are inheritable. Imperfect alicorn genes might be too. However, the baby might also inherit the magic potential of both parents, and since we're talking about alicorn and quite powerful unicorn, baby alicorn can have some great potential too. Add the fact that in this age unicorn magic is quite random and we can explain that magic blast. On the other hand, we have Celestia and Luna. Here the deal is much easier, they both are born alicorns coming from the pure-blooded alicorn couple. That alone means they are both much more powerful than any other currently existing alicorn. If I had to rank them up, assuming that all would be at the same age, Cadence would probably be the weakest. Next one would be Twilight, not far from her would be Flurry Heart, and Celestia and Luna would be tied together far from the rest. However, it doesn't mean they both are almighty. As we've seen before, they both are struggling quite a lot. I'm also not denying that Starlight herself is a powerhouse. What I'm trying to prove here that it is believable for her to be equal to Twilight. After all, it is said that the alicorns are meant to represent all 3 tribes, but it was never said that the alicorns can be outmatched by more powerful representatives of the tribes. That brings me to my final conclusion. Alicorns are meant to be the royalties, leaders that are supposed to bring all the ponies together, and the way to do that is by staying equal to more average ponies, rather than those more special elite units. So that pretty much means Alicorns shouldn't be as strong as the strongest Earth pony, or fly as fast as the Wonderbolts, or be as big expert of magic as Starswirl. As I've said before, jack of all trades, master of none. But what do you think? Do you agree with me? Or maybe you have a different point of view on that? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Sharpwit, and you can now stop calling Lightning Bliss Mary Sue. Thanks for watching.